Well, thanks for joining us here on the 208 on your Tuesday. And the month of October is typically a slow month for the International Rescue Committee here in Boise. Under former President Donald Trump's administration, the national refugee cap was set at 15,000. In early May, President Biden's administration announced the cap would increase to 62,500 people. And because of the evacuation status in Afghanistan, this month is turning out to be one of the busiest for IRC. Now the Rescue Committee is getting ready to welcome 58 refugees to Boise in the coming weeks. The College of Southern Idaho's Refugee Center is also preparing to resettle another 50 Afghans in Twin Falls this year. Both cities are feeling the growing pains as this is the largest class that will be welcomed in 4 years. So how will this all play out? It's our Katya Stepovic.
This month, we started receiving, the first arrivals, especially from, the Afghanistan evacuee program. So, we're really excited that people have a chance for safety now, especially after, really the 4 last years have been really small numbers of arrivals in terms of, historic norms and resources.
Since the year of 2000, Idaho has welcomed 844 refugees from Afghanistan. Georgette Siqueiros, the Development and Community Engagement Manager for IRC, says during their fiscal year of 2021, they saw only 136 new arrivals, but by the end of this year alone, they will welcome a total of 490 refugees and Afghan families.
What's the emotion like when they get here?
When we do airport arrivals, there's, there can be so many different emotions, especially, if it's a family reunification, there's a lot of joy and happiness. Right now, especially with the Afghanistan evacuee program, really, we're seeing some different challenges as well. A lot of people, are arriving in an extremely, emotional state. It's been, for people who didn't expect to have to be evacuated from one day to the next, it's just a roller coaster for sure. So we see a lot of highs. We also see some lows for sure, but I know that everyone is just happy to be in a safe place and to, start building their new homes.
Housing and homes, things that are not so affordable in the Boise area, and the demand for transitional housing is at an all-time high for refugees.
We're seeing a lot of people arrive at one time, whereas October is typically a pretty quiet month for refugee resettlements. Right now, we're definitely looking at a lot of different, solutions and options. When people first arrive, we look into transitional welcome housing. And so it's definitely a process. Certainly our housing market right now looks differently than it has in the past.
Because refugee resettlement numbers were at record lows during the Trump administration, IRC is feeling the challenge from increased demand. So in response, they are hiring housing specialists and employment specialists to keep up.
IRC will be here. We will continue to be here and work really hard to make sure that all needs are met.
And Katya, I know some good news is that when we have people come into our community from these refugee populations, people want to help. They want to do something to help these new Idahoans. Is there anything people can do over the next few weeks?
Well, there's a lot that people can do, but the big focus right now, Georgette said, is a lot of these refugees come from warmer climates. That being said, they're not used to the cold winters that we get, and they could really use any help with that winter clothing to keep warm. Anything from gift cards as well. And Joe, if someone out there is looking for their next job, they could really use the staff at IRC as well.
Awesome. Well, Katya Stepovic reporting. I know we're going to keep an eye on this as it gets closer to it all unfolding. Thank you very much, Katya.